Hey everyone, Andy here, and today I'm checking out the Sony f65. The last time we saw this camera on the blog, it was a prototype in a glass case at NAB, and now it's here in our in our office, and it's a very functional unit. And in fact, it's going to be shipping in January, so it's coming out very soon. And I just wanted to give you a quick little hands-on overview of the unit, the camera, and just show you how simple it is, and also highlight some of the key features of it if you haven't heard about that already. The big thing on the f65, of course, is its resolution. It is an 8K camera. The sensor is 8K and design, so basically when the camera comes out, it's going to be the highest resolution camera on the market. So the 8K sensor is designed to give you the most color and resolution versus all the sensors out there today. But it is still a Super 35 size sensor. It's a 28mm size sensor with a 1:8:1 aspect ratio, so you can use it for theatrical, and you can crop that to 16:9 if you choose to. So that sensor is still very usable on all the lenses out there today. There are some limitations with mechanical shutter, of course, which I'll explain in a minute. But the sensor is 8K, high resolution, with a special, unique pattern of filtration in front of it. It's unlike a bare pattern, which you find in most traditional digital cinema cameras. This pattern is designed to give you more resolution and more color information, which really does show through in the footage that we've seen so far. The sensor is also designed to keep sensitivity, despite the fact that they've made smaller photo sites. So basically, Sony redesigned these special photo sites designed to give you more sensitivity up each pixel, and at the same time giving you a really good amount of dynamic range. So sensitivity of the camera, the base sensitivity is 800 EI or ISO, and then I can also still crank it up to 3200 EI with very minimal noise. So it's still good and really good in low light despite its high resolution, and it has 14 stops at dynamic range. So very good across the board, amazing sensor. In front of that, as I was saying before, is a mechanical shutter. At least in this version of the camera, there is a mechanical shutter spinning in front of the camera, in front of the lens sensor. The sensor itself is a CMOS sensor, which has a rolling nature to it. But with the mechanical shutter, I basically turn it into a global shutter camera. I'm physically blocking the light when I read out the data, give me that true global readout of the sensor. The mechanical shutter also adds a lot artistically, in my opinion. When you preclude light from hitting the sensor, that there's an effect that helps eliminate judder in the image. So I just like it artistically as well. Additionally, in there, between the lens and the sensor, are ND filters that can be turned on and off in the side of the unit. This is a very handy feature, of course. It helps eliminate the need to add additional filters in front of your lens, and also just easy to access. So a little mechanical dial will turn on there and put an ND in front. Very nice. So what do I do with this 8K of information? How do I record it? Well, it's a little complicated because it's so big, but Sony is trying to make it as easy as possible. 8K of data comes off the sensor and into this recorder here, which sort of looks like the R1. In fact, it has the same sort of side interface for it as the R1 or an SRW1. But this is the R4, and it records in f65 RAW. So it takes the full 8K data into the unit and records it in 16-bit. It's a 16-bit raw compression, but it is slightly compressed. It's about 3-to-1 compression overall. Again, but very high quality. Best you're going to get, amazing quality, honestly. And that was recorded onto the SR memory cards that you've seen in the past. The SR memory cards, 1 terabyte of that card type will take about an hour of f65 raw, so it's quite big, but best quality, of course. These cards will be able to download via Sony reader, a PC4, or other type of reader to interface and download and work with that raw material. Additionally, the R4 in February will be able to, with a firmware upgrade, record that data. And instead of recording in RAW, I'll be able to take the output of the camera and create an SR codec compression. SR codec is the same compression as found in the SR tape format. So it's an HD compression, just HD video, but really high quality. We all know the quality of SR, up to 80 megabits per second and 444. So really high, it's a really nice option for television commercial productions that don't necessarily need the full 8K raw data. So R4 sensor, beautiful stuff. What about the camera body itself? Well, it's a sort of short, squat body. You can see if I come around the side here, that mechanical shutter and the ND filters do add kind of a bulky side bit here. But the weight of the body is only about 10.5 pounds, 10.7 pounds. And so it's very light body overall. Put the R4 and the viewfinder on it, you're just about 15 pounds. But it's very light compared to, despite its sort of looks, very light compared to other digital cinema cameras out there. So I like that option a lot. It's very nice. It is compact overall. It even has a shoulder pad in it. So it's deceivingly light. The interface on the side here, as you can see, is designed to be very simple, very easy to use, something that's very important to ACs and anyone just who wants to pick up the camera to use it is going to like this interface. Basically, it just has a couple of key features on it right away that are easy to look at. You have your shutter speed, NDs, your exposure index, your ISO, your white balance, and also your output. The last one that says 709 800% right now is telling you the SDI output quality. In the release version of this camera, you'll be able to select S-Log or LUTs on the outputs of the camera if you want to see the output in different ways. But how to interact with this unit is very nice. Hold the setting button down, lets me adjust my frame rate, my shutter, etc. right on the fly there really quickly. I can select one unit and push in. For instance, I'll push in here on the shutter speed, select step, which lets me step through various preset shutters, and I can see I can adjust my mechanical shutter from 180 all the way up to all the way down to 11.2 degrees. So this is a lot of variation for the mechanical shutter. Beyond that, I could turn off the mechanical shutter, the little button up here, and that's going to allow me to turn on an electronic shutter and get all the other variations. Additionally, I can turn my ND filters on the side here and adjust my ISO very quickly. And in fact, right below the ND filter, it tells me in stops how many stops of light I have above the middle gray point. This is a very nice option to have as a DP. It'll tell you, by the way, at 800 EI, you have 6.2 stops above middle gray. As you adjust your exposure index, it will adjust that number, letting you know what you have above middle gray, keeping in mind you have a full 14 stops to work with. So really cool side panel there. Additionally, it does have a little button called viewfinder menu here. Hit that button and they get a whole new menu interface from Sony. It's very unique, and from Sony anyway. Very slick looking. Again, a lot more simple than what we've seen in the past. So I like that a lot. Leave that menu behind. I do also have 4 assignable buttons here on the camera that can be set to do a number of different features. Coming on the side of the camera, again, we have a number of interfaces on the R4 as well as the camera body. The R4 has time code and audio inputs. And the body has gen lock shutter for syncing 2 cameras together, syncing the shutters and the refresh, the sensor, SDI and HDY outputs, and then a remote plug here, so I can actually use some a paint box from Sony to control the camera as well. RMB 150, 750, same protocol that'll work with this unit. And then below that I have the power input, same kind of power plug as the F23, F35. It's a 12-24 mixed plug, so I can power this camera off either 12 or 24 volts, and it does offer on the back below here some 12 and 24 volt accessory outputs as well. Very cool. Up top here, 2 USB ports out. This is where I can connect a Wi-Fi unit to this camera, a Wi-Fi sort of interface device that Sony already sells, and then I can control the camera via a web interface or a tablet, so I can walk around with my iPad and actually control the camera remotely via this little device. So I think this is going to be a very popular option for the unit. And then I do have another SDI out over here, and I have 2 more ports down here. One's a lens port, which can be used with, actually, interestingly enough, same lens port as you might see on a lot of different ENG type cameras, so we'll see what they're going to use that for in the future, and an additional external I/O interface for other controllers. So a lot of ports there, a lot of controls, a lot of functionality. Additionally, in terms of lens control, I do have the solid P-out mount here on the front that is shimmable, so it's not just the worm drive, it's actually a shimmable P-out mount. And on that mount, I do have the ability to talk to Arri and Cook lenses, pass information through, etc. from those lenses. Huge amount of features that you want there, of course, for your that information will be stored in metadata on the camera recording. That really is a beautiful camera. There's something about the color information that it gathers, as well as resolution, that gives you true colors, really nice skin tones. It's very unique, very filmic, I guess you could say. So I really like this camera. Exciting to see the industry make such big leaps and bounds in such a short period of time. There's been a big push in 4K for a while now, and I see Sony really jumping into the game too. So thanks for watching. Come check it out in our showrooms in New York and LA and Chicago in the future. Can't wait to have it out to see it in your guys' hands to see what you can do. Thanks for watching. See you next time.